Okay, in this reading, I'm going to look at the connection between Megan and Yoonchae from Katseye. They did a live together, and in it, they were talking about their time in Dream Academy, etc. And like Megan said that she was like really harsh to Yoonchae or something because she was like really going through it. IDK, we're gonna see how they feel about each other now and in the past and what their general vibe is. With that being said, everything I say is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. And with peace and love. And let's go. Okay, this is gonna be Megan. This is gonna be Yoonchae. Ooh, oh god. And this is, oh my god, what's going on? This is surprising. This is energy in between. Okay, I'm gonna be so honest with you. We just pulled the cards. I honestly thought that like they were friends and it was just like a rough patch. This is looking crazy. All right, all swords cards. Swords is a weapon, number one, but swords in general means talking, communication, etc. Megan got the four of swords in the reverse position, which is like starting. In the upright, it's also like this card in the upright can talk about like your final resting place, for example. In the reverse, it's like getting going, starting, like planning, like. Yoonchae got the Queen of Swords. It's interesting because this is facing away from Megan's energy, and it's also communication, but it's sort of like the Queen of Swords is like that bitch when it comes to talking, communication, how she sorts herself. In general, the Queen of Swords is like cold, but not in like a cruel way. Almost like she's really calculating. Like she's like the type of girly you're gonna go to like notarize something, to your lawyer. That's like what this is giving. Competent as well. The energy in between is the Three of Swords, which is heartbreak, like fundamentally. Okay. Megan, Two of Wands. Yoonchae, that's going into the past, childhood, also being younger. And King of Cups. King of Cups is interesting. Both of their cards, in a way, are kind of facing away from one another. Yeah, you know what's interesting? This guy's wearing red, and the older one is wearing red. And I believe Megan is older than Yoonchae. Yeah, because Yoonchae's the youngest. This is like Yoonchae being like, oh, well, okay, in my head I just heard, but I'm like younger than you. But in a way, it's sort of like, but I'm younger than you. That's like how it sounds in my head. The Two of Wands on Megan's side is like planning. Oh, that's interesting because the other card was like getting started in terms of planning something. Two of Wands though is like planning. Like in my head I just keep hearing world domination. I don't know what the fuck that means. This person is holding a world in their hand, but it's like trying to strategize to like, and usually this person is someone who's like established or has reached a point of position and they're trying to like advance their position, if that makes sense. The King of Cups in the middle seems like a person. I guess it could be an energy, but it seems like there's a person in between them. This would be masculine energy though. It feels kind of like it's a woman. I don't know why. It feels like a woman with masculine energy in one way or another, and it's like driving a wedge between them, maybe? Or is like, I don't know if this is helpful or hurtful. I don't know if this is benevolent energy or not. Work, effort, fruits of my labor. Yoonchae, that's like the internet, kind of like people talking around them or energy around them. But it would be more like people, not like people in Dream Academy, it'd be more like people like literally on the internet, like people watching a live stream maybe. And then this is Wands is like marching towards Yoonchae's energy. It's the 6. Oh, being on my high horse. Oh my, this is like really strange. Okay, this card I was going to talk about is like, let's go back. For Yoonchae, it's sort of like, this is her and this is Megan. And Yoonchae is sort of like, I don't remember 100% what they said in like the live stream, but there's something about like they were close, or like Yoonchae was trying to become close to Megan, or there's something about like I looked up to you, or I was trying to like get assistance from you. And honest to God, I really think that Megan was trying to like connect with Yoonchae, and then just like got like kind of like into like a mental health tizzy, or just like wasn't really feeling good. I mean, it was a high pressure environment. There's something, and this is gonna sound like really crazy and shady, but there's something about like Yoonchae kind of liking that. This is gonna sound, oh my god. Okay, number one, I really like Katseye. I like all of the members. I honestly gotta do it. I like Megan. I like Yoonchae. I'm only reading that energy. I'm not trying to make anyone look bad, but this is kind of giving like Yoonchae's a little bit satisfied that people are looking at Megan like, oh, like Megan's a bully, or like Yoonchae is kind of like a victim, but not necessarily victim mentality. It's more like this elevates Yoonchae. And I think it's one of those things, this isn't like, and I don't think this is an active thought Yoonchae thinks, but it's one of those like those thoughts that you get sometimes, if you know what I'm talking about, where it's sort of like, it's not a good thought, but it's like, it's a thought that you think. There's something about that, because this is like the card is facing Yoonchae's energy, and it's like being elevated. I'm on my high horse. There's something about that. I'm gonna be so honest with you. In the live stream, what they were talking about, I genuinely think that did hurt Yoonchae. I don't know. In the live stream, I think Yoonchae didn't convey, either intentionally or unintentionally, like how much she actually was affected or hurt by Megan. I don't know if they themselves have talked about how much it like hurt Yoonchae, whatever Megan was doing. I really kind of think it was like Megan being kind of like snippy towards her and having like a cold shoulder, but there's something about like Yoonchae being like much more affected than she's letting on to someone. I think Yoonchae is actually quite diplomatic or careful about what she says and how she presents herself. Yoonchae is very smart in that sense, but because there's something about like, I looked up to you, like you were supposed to be the older one. I think she kind of still feels that way in katseye a lot, like not necessarily like she's the mom of the group, not necessarily like she's like the quasi leader, but there's something about like I feel like I'm the more sober one, or like the one that is more like articulate or like grounded. There's something about that with Yoonchae. She feels that way a lot in regards to being like the youngest but seeming like she's more mature, if that makes sense. There's something about like the live stream and sort of like a satisfaction of like the outcome of that live stream. Because I think after the live stream, everyone was like, oh my god, like I can't believe Megan would do this to like Yoonchae. But they were like laughing and joking about it, which is how I took it. So I'm kind of gagged Tina. I was like, no, like they're friends. Like they were just like reminiscing about like their path to becoming friends. This is kind of like, here's the thing though. I do think they're friends. I do think they're competitive friends. Deeply. Like they're friends, but they are competitive in a way that I think goes unaddressed for whatever reason. It's kind of interesting. Megan got the 5, 6, 7 of Pentacles, which is fruits of my labor. Megan is like, in terms of their dynamic, I don't know wholly, but in terms of their dynamic, Megan doesn't really show up that emotional. She's not really like thinking that much about this whole situation. It seems like Yoonchae's the one that's more like invested in this. Megan just seems very like strategy, work, like how can I get where I want to go. It might be because of Dream Academy, that makes sense. Where it's sort of like, you know how like in Dream Academy, it really seemed like there were only certain spots for different races. Like there's, you remember like in Dream Academy, there was Ezrella and Lara, and they were like the 2 Indians. So it's like clearly one of them is going to be in the group, probably, right? It was sort of in that way where I think Megan, and I think everyone in the Dream Academy, and like the audience was sort of like, oh, there's only going to be certain types of people in this group. And so for Megan, I think she had kind of a sense of like competition about like the other Asians or something like that. And she was sort of like, it's only going to be me or like Yoonchae. I think maybe she had that sort of mentality. I don't know, because I just see her like hustling and it's sort of like, is my labor paying off? Am I being strategic enough? Like it's not time for rest, it's time for action. That's how she feels. But it's weird because it's like the timeline in my mind is like both past and present. So this isn't like starting from the past and we're slowly, as I pull more cards, moving towards the present. It's like an intermix of both. It's like a stew. It's interesting. So whatever this is, it still exists. This like competition, I guess, between the two of them. But again, it's very unaddressed. Very unaddressed. Anyway, Megan got the Ace of Swords, upright. Yoonchae got the 5, 6 swords. There are so many swords. I can't tell you. This is so bananas. Because swords is like a weapon. It's also communication. There's a sense of like tit for tat, or maybe I think this still exists in their dynamic where it's sort of like, you know, sometimes you have a friend and you guys are actually friends, kind of, but it's also like not the healthiest dynamic. And there's something about like you are joking about something that someone's like sensitive about, and so they joke back to you with something they're sensitive about, but you're both kind of hurt. That's giving what they do to each other. I guess you sometimes see that in like Cat's like live streams or interviews or something, where it's like they kind of poke fun at one another. I think that happens a lot more behind the scenes, and like it's like more than what we see. It's interesting. Anyway, the energy in between is a 5. This is like fighting. I'm shocked by this energy. I really hope I'm not conveying that they're not friends, but I am. I think allegedly for entertainment purposes only, I am kind of conveying that I think that they have like this sense of like competition, this sense of like there's like a tension underneath everything. It's interesting. I think they really do enjoy each other, but it's like this like, I don't know, I think if they became friends in a different context, we would be reading an entirely different scenario. I think it literally is they're in a high pressure environment still. All the members, I forget this all the time, but like all the members are compared against each other constantly. And so I think there's something about that as well. Yeah, I love Megan, don't fuck with me. But like there's something about like, I don't know if like Megan maybe feels threatened by Yoonchae. I'm not sure. But like Megan doesn't feel emotional. Yoonchae just seems kind of like, I wish that didn't happen like way back when we were in Dream Academy. And like Yoonchae just kind of like suspicious. And like, I don't know. I think Megan works harder to look better in terms of like dancing, stage presence, etc. And like with Yoonchae, it's sort of like she's like, I'm gonna do my own thing, and she's not as comparative, but she's the sounds shady, but she seems there's like a sense of satisfaction if like someone is like getting a little bit of like hate or whatever. There's something with Yoonchae about that where I feel like Yoonchae is probably the least polarizing member as well. She's probably the one that most fans like the most because she's just so like, you know, she's just Yoonchae. Anyway. Ace of Swords on Megan's side is like starting something new in terms of communication, but there's a crown at the top. That's what it's. I wants me to like focus. The energy wants me to focus on the crown for some reason. Speaking nobly. Oh, I will say, Megan is more careful about what she says. she definitely saw the backlash. There might have even been a conversation behind the scenes with like a manager of Hivex Geffen or like whoever does the PR for them. There's something about that. Megan's much more careful. She's much more like diplomatic maybe about what she says, or is like, it's not careful in like an anxious way. It's careful in a like, I need to just be better about how I convey ideas type of way. Because the thing is, I don't really think they regret talking about the situation. I think they regret maybe how they painted the situation. Or I should say Megan. I don't know about Yoonchae yet. Yoonchae, it's so interesting. Megan does not seem that emotional. She's very just like, it's not like unemotional and I don't care. It's very just like practical. It's sort of like, I'm focused on like my work and my business and being like good at what I do and kind of arguably like the best. Yoonchae got the 7 of Swords in the reverse position, which is like no longer being shady, like coming clean. It's interesting because this is facing Megan's energy. I don't think Yoonchae is shady. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't. I think I really firmly believe she kind of revels when like one of her members is going through something because it like elevates her and makes her seem more pure in comparison. But she doesn't underhand her members. She doesn't do like fucked up things. 5 of Swords in the middle is like fighting though. There's a tension. I really do think they're friends. They're like work friends, but I think they do hang out. I think they enjoy each other, and I really genuinely believe they enjoy each other. There's a tension though, absolutely. I don't know, like, it's like, have you ever had like, you might have been in this dynamic, or you might have like witnessed this dynamic where it's like 2 people and they like jab at each other. That's what it's giving. Like low, like not low blows, but like I'm jabbing at you. I'm like trying to like shake your confidence, and it's like, it's more than just like playful, and that's how people talk. It's like there's genuinely like a tension there. Lots of Swords cards. It's interesting. Ace of Wands in the reverse position, Wands again. That's interesting. In terms of passion and energy, in terms of communication. Ace of Swords is upright, which is like starting something new in communication. Oh, literally, like Megan is practicing how she comes across. Like, what's it called? PR. When you are PR trained, like giving a PR response. I don't know, maybe someone told her to do that, or they're taking like lessons in that, katseye at large. Because there's something about Megan practicing how she comes across publicly. In like an intentional way, and it's a skill she wants to develop. Ace of Wands though is interesting because that's in the reverse position, and that's something about like fire, drive, passion in some way or another. Yoonchae got the 5 of Pentacles in the reverse position, which is like no longer needing help. Oh, I'm not as like, because when Yoonchae joined Dream Academy, she didn't speak English, and she was like brand new to America, and like she came to the program later than a lot of the other members as well, right? She came during filming or something, right? There's something about like, I'm not that girl anymore. I'm not that girl that can't like speak English and doesn't know what the fuck's going on and is kind of like thrown into like this whole hullabaloo. There's something about Yoonchae where it's like, I don't need as much help. I guess with probably, this is an example, but like translating things, but in general, just like feeling confident in herself. And also she's grown a lot. Like when she joined Dream Academy, she was like 14? I don't know how old she was. And now she's like 18 or something, maybe 19, I don't know. Oh my god, my cat just brought in a snake! Oh my god. I don't know where I left off, that was crazy. Anyway, of Cups in the middle in the reverse position is kind of immature communication. Especially emotionally. Oh, you know what? People literally, I bet someone has been screaming this entire time. And I forgot this word. It's like giving passive aggressive. That's what it's giving. But like, I cannot shake the feeling that they are friends and they do enjoy each other. Like maybe they have similar senses of humor or something. Because like there is like a common thread that like, because it feels like in my whole like front, like in my chest and in my tummy, it's like this sense of warmth. But then there's like, I just like see them like poking at each other. Like, and like, it's like little jabs with like their fingers are like, haha, you know what I mean? But like, it's like not funny. That's what it's giving. It's strange. This is immature communication. And I want clarification on Megan's card, the Ace of Wands, because I don't fully understand. Loss of a like guardedness, like not being as guarded as you once were. King of Wands. Oh no, bro. This again. Okay, so I don't know. We need to just do an individual reading on Megan because there's some going on with Miss Things. This is like this. I don't know how this ties in. It must, right? Because why the fuck would this come up? But this has to do with something else entirely. So, and I'm just gonna say it because I'm tired. Ace of Wands. This can be sometimes a phallic image, if you will. And I thought that when I pulled that card, but I'm like, that doesn't fucking make sense. It's in the reverse position though, but this is a phallic image, right? And I asked for clarification. This is like not having boundaries anymore. It's like not being as guarded because this is sort of like a fence, if you will, like a boundary, if you will. Someone is like, you know, pensively like watching over. In the reverse, it's like the boundary is falling down. King of Wands. There is somebody around Megan, I swear to God, if you watch my other katseye readings that I've done where it's like all of them, Every single time there's some weird fuck around Megan. I don't know who this man is. It is a man. I know it's a man. Don't play with me. And it's like, they're weird. I don't know. It's like, and it's always like a weird sort of like power thing, or like looking at maybe a sexual thing. Like, I literally don't know. It's interesting because the Ace of Wands is in the reverse position, but that doesn't necessarily mean a lack of something. It can just be like a negative something. I'm not sure. Whatever it is though, I said this in a different reading too. Like, there's something with Megan where it's like she plays with fire, or it's like she like doesn't, in this case it's saying she doesn't have good boundaries, though I don't know if I've said that before or not. But there's something about Megan where it's like she like does risky things, or it's like I don't know, but like, and this isn't me blaming Megan for whatever may or may not be happening, but there's like someone around her, like very predatory, like they're like preying on Megan, if you will. I have no idea how this ties into any of this. I don't know why that would come up in this reading. Maybe the cards are like, this is urgent, girl. I don't know. You need to call someone. I mean, Megan is an adult, but like adults can be harmed too, you know. Anyway, whatever. Maybe that's the person that's like causing a rift between them. I swear, I don't know if like, and this isn't me saying that like there's like a sexual relationship going on, but there's something about like a weird man, and it's like he is like preying on like Megan's like naivety maybe, or like lack of experience in something. I'm not sure, because in one way or another the energy feels ominous. It's like that. Is it like a violin or something where it's like like no bro, I'm not gonna ignore that, whatever. Okay, Temperance, lack of balance. Sometimes this can talk about substances. King of Swords in the reverse position. King energy and Ace of Pentacles. Getting a reward. There's someone in Yoonchae's ear. I don't know. This isn't giving a gender for me. I guess it could go either way. They are older, significantly, like 30s plus maybe. I don't know. This seems like someone in power, but I really couldn't tell you if it's per the company or not. All I see is like someone in a suit, but that doesn't necessarily indicate executive. It could be like her dad maybe, or like a lawyer. It could be somebody at Hybex Geffen. I'm not sure, but they're in her ear about advising her about something. It seems sort of in terms of behavior, how she acts or what she says, or maybe contracts in terms of like getting Yoonchae different opportunities. There's someone that is I really see this. There's someone that is like plotting for Yoonchae's future. Plotting sounds crazy, but there's someone who's like trying to, like, let's say katseye disbands after like 4 years. It's like they want Yoonchae to have a career in entertainment after that. Like, I don't know, they might try to pivot her as a soloist or to do acting or like modeling. There's someone who's like planning Yoonchae's. I don't know if Yoonchae's that involved, but not in a like controlling way. Almost in a like, I'm just locked in on like katseye and what we're doing now. But someone else is sort of like advising her family, or maybe it is her family, or is like giving her advice that she's not really like interested in taking right now. I'm not sure. Temperance in the reverse position is a lack of balance. It can sometimes talk about leaning on like substances or things that are like tranquil to you because you don't feel tranquil on the inside. Megan feels, I don't know if numb is the right word. She just, I guess, dissociated maybe, but not in a sort of like you're staring at the wall way, in a sort of like, you know, when you've been working really hard and like really feverishly. Let's say, here's an example, because this is, I think, is a good energy to explain it. It's like, let's say you are in school, right? I don't know why I always go back to school, but it's like you have like a ton of stuff to do in a short amount of time, so you're just like feverishly doing it, and you're not really like thinking about other things. It's like there's no fun, there's no anything. I'm just locked in on my work. There's something like that with Megan, except it's sort of like on her downtime, instead of like kind of processing the stress that she's under, she just sort of like, you know, uses like a substance, maybe allegedly for entertainment purposes only, or like maybe she just like binges on like a TV show or something. But there's something sedating that she does to kind of ignore the pressures around her. Because I just see Megan not as like, it's not lack of care, it's not even like being like totally out of it, it's more just like I'm overwhelmed maybe, or like overfilled. And then the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like there's like I think I know what this means, but I want more clarification. Claro. Fighting. But it's like petty fighting in the world. Yeah, I think they get incentives maybe. I don't know what the fuck that would be. Like an actual monetary incentive, or maybe like less punishment. I'm not sure. But there's an incentive for them to like get along. Both for the camera and like in just generally like their work activities. I also kind of feel like there's like a facilitation. Like a manager or something is making sure that the girls are getting along more than in the beginning. So it's sort of like, oh, we have to separate these two members because if they're around each other too long, then it starts to become like a bickering thing. I don't know, because I see someone like hovering over them, kind of like moving the members like strategically. So it's sort of like, oh, this member has to go over here and this member has to do this thing, because if they're doing this thing too long, then the other one's gonna like freak out. It's something like that. But there's a reward for keeping the members like happy, and the members get a reward for like being copacetic. I don't know, bro. Comment below if you think this is like, I'm so shocked. I thought this was gonna be like, no, like they're friends, like it's whatever. This was more complicated than I anticipated. I wish both of them so much love and light, and I hope katseye does well and things go well for them with peace and love.